Welcome back. The Baseball Writers of America have done it again. Despite going from last in their division in 2024 to the World Series this year, Blue Jays manager John Schneider is the runner-up for American League Manager of the Year. Schneider finished second behind Stephen Vaught of the Cleveland Guardians in voting by the Baseball Writers. The Guardians made the playoff the last 2 years in a row. That was apparently enough for Vaught to pick up 17 of 30 first-place votes and 113 points overall. Schneider had 10 first-place votes and 91 points. The other finalist was Dan Wilson of the Seattle Mariners. The last time a Blue Jays manager won the award was Bobby Cox in 1985. We're getting a first look at the official uniforms for the 2026 Milan Cortina Winter Olympics. Volunteers will sport blue jumpsuits with green and white accents, while torch breachers will wear all white with red and yellow flame patterns, a nod to the Olympic torch itself. Italy's athletes will wear kits designed by late Giorgio Armani. The Games in Italy kicks off in February. And finally, it's the unexpected story behind a thrift store on Vancouver Island that's buzzing with surprises. Adam explained on tonight's Sawaski Sign-Off.
This is a story about a store that's filled with at least 5 surprises.
This is partial of one of my collections.
First, despite its owner, Barb DeCuto, having a collection of dozens of decorative bees.
I'm actually allergic to bees, but I do have my bee thing.
Second, despite this being a thrift store, none of these bees are for sale.
They've been given to me to the store because it's a bee.
Before she reveals why these bees are gifts from her customers, Barb explains the third surprise, that the store's bee theme was inspired by what happened after her mother-in-law's funeral.
And there was a bee, and we just kind of shooed it out, and it just went around the house and came in the back door.
And this happened so many times, with the bee flying right up to each family member every time, that everyone agreed. It felt like more than a bee.
And all the kids and the grandkids now, if they see a bee, they say, "Oh, there's Grandma D."
So Barb named her store Thrifty Bee. And then, as if on cue, surprise number 4.
Spooky as we're talking about this.
Our conversation is interrupted by an actual bee.
Whoa.
There is my mother-in-law. She was here for the interview as well.
Or perhaps she wants to remind her daughter-in-law not to be so humble and mention surprise number 5, that since opening the store more than 20 years ago, Barb has never received a paycheck.
I do it for free, but it's not free to do.
When Barb's not offering affordable goods to all sorts of community members in need, she's partnering with community kitchens and homeless shelters to offer items for free.
I like to be able to help. I always have it.
And Barb's customers almost always return to offer their thanks by gifting her some sort of bee.
So it's a good day every day.
And, no surprise, on the days Grandma D drops by for a visit, it's even better. Adam Sawatsky, CTV News, Esquimalt.
Michael, that's all for sports.
Speaking of that story, I've had a bit of a bee in my bonnet for the whole day around this John Schneider Manager of the Year thing. And I'm not a fan of sports journalists. People who know me personally know that. It's more rah-rah root for the team than it is being an actual journalist. And this is just more proof of it. It's just ridiculous that you could go from last place to the World Series. And I know it's not a playoff award, but he finished, first overall in the American League. It's an extraordinary story, and because he's from Canada. They just go with the guy from Cleveland who's made the playoffs 2 years in a row.
Yeah, it's a conversation that comes back every time there's awards, right?
Yep.
In hockey last year, I was in Calgary for the end of the season. Everybody wanted Dustin Wolf to win Rookie of the Year. I'm a Canadians fan, and obviously Lane Hudson won it, right? So these are conversations depending on in what market you're in. You're going to be a little biased sometimes, but I agree on this one. Schneider should have won it.
Yeah, well, let's check in tomorrow when they decide who the American League MVP is, whether it's Seattle Mariners, Cal Raleigh, or Aaron Judge.
Yeah, there's a chance you're not going to be too happy tomorrow.
And I think I'm just mad in advance of that. I think I know what's coming. That's our newscast tonight. Thanks so much for watching. We'll both see you tomorrow after the football game at 9 p.m. Good night.
Bye-bye.